So what you're going to do is take some vinegar and you're going to soak the vinegar into the rim on both sides of where you want to fix the crack. So I'm just going to keep going back and forth. And when the clay starts to soften, then the next thing I'm going to do is open the body a little more by making little holes. So I'm just kind of poking into the clay a little bit. Dang it. Try not to do what I just did. And then continue to add vinegar into that. Because what we're trying to do is expand the surface area and break the original surface tension of the clay without breaking the wall. I have to go to the sides because mine is so thin, but it's best if you don't get that close to the side and just kind of scratch it up a little. So I will do the same to this side, and I will continue to add vinegar to the side I just did, just to keep it going. I think because this is so small, I'm gonna have to just scratch, because the sticking part isn't doing well on such a thin surface. If your piece didn't break completely, you would still do what I'm doing, but you would do it on both sides of the crack. Like, say this was together and you just had like a crack running down like over here, you would just keep adding like vinegar onto the crack. I'm actually going to seal this together. So you wouldn't have to do that first part. You would just have to do this next part. And then this is really thin, so it might break me just trying to do this. You're going to scrape across the crack. And this is where paper clay comes in. So see how it's like getting more easy to press through the clay? That's good, that's what you want. And here it's a little too dry, so I'm going to add into the crack again. And then keep scoring over. And then once I finish this side, I'm going to do the other side too. I'm going to roll a very small coil and try and squish that coil in. And what you want to try to avoid is getting that new fresh clay onto like the dry parts, because it won't adhere, it'll actually crack right off. So all you want to do is get the coil to get right into what you just scored. I'm just going to squeeze it up into that scratched area. Try not to make it too thick. And then I'm going to come over it again, squeeze it up. And if it does something like this where it didn't go in, just get another piece and then squeeze that in. And then, you know, you could use the back side of your thumb or finger or the needle tool just to kind of like get it in there. So then I kind of just put some vinegar over the whole thing just to kind of like blend the area. Make sure when you're doing this that you're actually getting the clay on the two sides and not just the clay that's soft like in the crack itself, but on both sides of the crack. This isn't wet enough, so I'm going to have to keep wetting it. See how the clay is getting compressed on both sides when I draw through? That's when you know that it's wet enough. Make your little coils with the paper clay, push them in. So remember, I always say compression makes the clay stronger. This is when this is really important, because this compression here while this is drying is really important. So make sure that you do this, the compressing with your back of your finger and or needle tool. For the inside, it's probably easier with the back of your finger. That's how you fix on it.